Good morning, students. In the previous class, we were discussing about the dictionaries, and we saw how what is the kind of relationship that exists between lists, tuples, and the dictionaries. Still, we have few more concepts that we'll discuss today, and we'll finish off this module. Um, I'll share my screen. So I think in the last class we discussed about how to extract this from the email ID, how to extract the username and the domain name by using the split method, isn't it? Look at here. See, look at here, students here. Here we have an email ID. So chetanahegde@ieee.org. So here this first part becomes what is there before that @ symbol, that becomes the username, and whatever that is there after this @ symbol, that becomes the domain name. Now therefore we can use @ as a delimiter to differentiate between username and the domain name. So hence, therefore, we can apply split method by using @ as a delimiter to split this, to split it into two parts, that is username and domain name. So that's what we have done here. So this method results in returning two strings. So to store those two strings, we have username and domain name. So the first will become the username, this portion, and the second portion, this will become domain name. So hence we have two variables to store it, and finally we are displaying. So that we have done in the last class. And also, so we'll see the application of items, a method called items. So we have within the dictionary an item called as, and a method called as items that returns a list of tuples, where each tuple is a key value pair. For that, let us consider this demonstration example. So we have three key value pairs. A, B, and C are the three keys, and their values are 10, 1, and 22. Now let us see how to apply this items method. See, remember always items returns a list of tuples, where each tuple is a key value pair. For example, B and 1, this is one key value pair. You need to understand, even though this is a tuple, each tuple is a key value pair. So the first part represents the key and the second part represents the value. And here also, so this is second tuple, A and 10, where A represents key and 10 represents 10. And this is a third tuple, C represents key and 22 represents value. And one thing you can observe here, look at the sequence here, A, B, and C, and here it is B, A, C. That means it will not be in the same order. You cannot expect that to be in the same order. Why? Because it will make use of linked list. So hence the sequence is not the same that you have inserted. As dictionary may not display the contents in an order, we can use sort method on lists and then print the required order as below. See, directly you cannot apply sort method on tuples. Why? Because the moment you apply sort method, suppose, let us assume, if it sorts, so therefore the position of the index value of the values will become different. So that means you are modifying the values. But by the property, by its characteristic, tuples are immutable. That means you cannot change the order of the elements. That means you cannot modify the contents of the tuple. So therefore what we do, we'll convert that into a list, then we sort the list. See here. So T is equal to list of D dot items. So now you see each one is, say this is one tuple, this is one tuple, and this is one tuple. But at the end, it is one list. It is one list. So now we apply T dot sort. So in this way, we can sort tuples. By converting them into a list, we can sort the tuple. Directly we cannot do anything to the tuple. Okay, and there is one more technique, okay, that I'll tell you at the end, how to sort the. So what is that option that I'll tell you at the end of this chapter. Then how to deal with multiple assignment with the dictionaries. We can combine the method items, tuple assignment, and for loop to get a pattern for traversing dictionary. So that means we are combining three things: items method, tuple assignment, and the for loop. Okay, look at here. So we have multiple key value pairs, and we are using the. See, this will return tuples, isn't it? D dot items return tuples, but we are converting it into a list. So that's why here we use list. Okay, and in the for loop, we are interested in displaying the key value pairs of the dictionary. That's why here we need two iteration variables, key and value. So normally whenever we use for loop, we take only one iteration variable. But this is a special case when we deal with the dictionary, because we are interested in displaying both key and value pairs. Hence, we take both key and value. So then print of key comma value. So it will display like this. So value comma key it has displayed, but actually, if you want key first, you can just put key comma value. Okay, it will display what is the key and its value. This loop has two iteration variables because items returns a list of tuples, that is key and value pairs. So that is the reason why we have two iteration variables here. Then look at here how to. Okay. And the key value is a tuple assignment that successfully iterates through each of the key value pairs in the dictionary. So once we get a key value pair, we can create a list of tuples and sort them. Okay, look at here how to sort. Once we get the key value pair, we can create a list of tuples and sort them. So we create an empty list by name ls. Then apply the for loop. Then see now we got the key value pairs. Then ls dot append of value comma key. So that means here we are creating a list by using the dictionary. See d dot items you are applying on the dictionary. So this is a dictionary, and we are extracting key value pairs and we are appending them to the list. You can create. So now what is the outcome? Outcome is the list by name ls, which contain all the key value pairs. Now for this ls we apply sort method. Okay, and what happens when how to sort it in reverse order? Reverse is equal to true. What is reverse here? Here reverse is the attribute, and we said that attribute is equal to true. That means sort in reverse order. So if it is A to Z, sort Z to A. If it is 0 to 9, so sort from 9 to 0. So like that, reverse order. Then print list of sorted tuples are ls. Okay, so that means when there is no scope wherein we can sort the tuples because it is immutable. So what we do, we convert it into a list, then we sort the list. That's it. So that's how we need to understand. Students, this concept is very, very useful. Why? Because say for example, while doing any project, so let us assume we have used the tuples to store some information, and you will get some requirement wherein you are supposed to sort it. So if you try to directly apply the sort method on tuple, it will throw the error. It will throw error. Why? Because the contents of tuples are immutable. Then you need to convert it into a list. Okay, so see there are two scenarios. Okay, first scenario is, so you have stored in a tuple and you have to convert it into a list, then you have to sort. That is scenario one. And there is one more scenario. Even if you have stored it in dictionary, so then how to sort it? If you have stored it in dictionary, Then by default, if you apply directly the sort method, it will sort based upon the key. Based upon the keys, it will sort. That is fine. Okay. Other, if you don't want like that, then what you have to do, by using the items method, you need to extract the tuples from the dictionary. Then to that tuples, you can apply. So sorry, to that tuples, what you can do, you can convert them into a list like this. So this is a code snippet where we have the dictionary, extracting the tuples from the dictionary, then converting it into a list, then sorting the list. So like this you have to do. So therefore, students, now you know what is dictionary, what is list, and what is tuple, and what are its limitations. That is very, very important. So if you look at your entire syllabus, so more emphasis is given on learning the data structures, when to use it and how to use it. So this you need to understand. And in the last module, there is a little bit about object orientation and how to create GUIs, that is graphical user interfaces. So in the first three modules, basically you'll be learning about the data structures, the two sequential data structures. Then in the fourth module, you have file operations. Already we have seen how to do file operations. So we know how to read from the file, how to write into the file, how to append the contents, how to set the pointer. So already we know. So that is module 4. Okay, once again I'll brush up the module 4 concepts. Okay, from the next class we'll start module 4. Even though we have studied so much about module 4 already, still we'll brush up once again module 4, then module 5 at the end. And also, so there is a chance where they may extend this semester duration till January end. So hence we get plenty of time, don't worry. Why? Because we expect you to come to the college and do some programs inside the lab, because we cannot expect that in each and every college all the students are having facility to listen from home and to practice at home. Many of the students will be listening through mobile phone, but they will not be practicing. So that's the reason why they may extend the semester duration. Using tuples as keys in dictionaries. How to use tuples as keys in the dictionaries. Okay, we'll see. Students, this is a problem statement. Just I'll read, listen to it. As tuples and dictionaries are hashable, when we want a dictionary containing composite keys. So students, you need to understand the meaning of composite key. See here, the composite key means while writing the hash table I showed you, sometimes the same key contains more than one value within the hash table. So at that time directly we cannot store the value there. Then what we create? We create an link to an linked list, so that the hash table actually contains the address of the linked list or a pointer to the linked list, and that linked list contains multiple values. So that is called composite key. When we want a dictionary containing composite keys, we will use tuples. For example, we may need to create a telephone directory where the name of a person is first name and the last name pair. That means the name constitutes of two parts. So first name and last name, and the value is the telephone number. Our job is to assign telephone numbers to these keys. Students, now the problem statement is that, see here, there are three things that you need to consider: first name, last name, and the telephone number. So you need to make a key by pairing first name and the second name. You need to pair first name and the second name to form the key, and the value is telephone number. Okay, that's the problem. Now, see, we are pairing first name, second name. That is Tom and cat. Together it becomes Tomcat. So Jerry and mouse. So it becomes Jerry mouse. Then Donald and duck. Donald is the first name, duck is the second name. So it becomes, the full name of that object is Donald Duck. And the respective phone numbers are these things. Okay, now how to create a dictionary out of these things. Okay, now by using these things, how to create a dictionary. Now create one empty dictionary for I in range. So length of the number. Okay. So range will be calculated. If you use the len function, it will calculate. So how many times this for loop is to be executed? That is 3 times because the length is 3. Telephone directory of names of I is equal to number of I. See, the moment if you give names of I, so this entire thing will become one element. So Tom and cat, you can see here while displaying. So okay, you are assigning here. So here what you are doing, here we are assigning, and in the next for loop we are displaying for fn comma ln. So why? Because this name contains 2 parts, first name and the second name. Print of fn comma ln and the phone number. Okay, so this first name, last name, and the phone number. Okay. See, therefore this acts as the key. This first name comma last name acts as the key. Okay. Telephone directory of key will give you the value, isn't it? So how to display the value? Say for example, if you want to display a particular value within the dictionary, then you are supposed to know its key. So now this first name comma last name becomes the key. So therefore it will display its value. So now since we have put it inside the for loop, in each iteration for every first name and last name, it will print the appropriate or the related phone number. Okay, students. So this is also very much useful for us, because what happens, say normally how we collect data from the users. Normally we create some HTML forms and we'll ask the users to enter first name, last name, and separately the phone number, everything. So now you can assume like that, students, you have created one HTML form. Separately you are asking the user to enter the first name, last name, and also the phone number. Then you want to create a dictionary using that data. So for that purpose, you are creating one blank directory first, then using one for loop to assign the values. So here you are assigning the values, what is the name and what is the phone number. So these names are present, this complete thing. Okay, then for first name comma last name in telephone directory, print first name, last name. So it is printing first name Tom, second last name cat, then telephone directory of first name comma last name. So therefore this entire thing is key and this is the value. So this is displaying the value. So like that you need to understand. Students, anything you want to ask in this dictionaries? Any doubt in this? Anyone? Okay, now let us see the summary of sequences, that is strings, lists, and tuples. Till now we have discussed different types of sequences, that is strings, lists, and tuples. In many situations, these sequences can be used interchangeably. Still, due to their differences in behavior and ability, you may need to understand pros and cons of each of them and then to decide which one to use in a program. So here are the key points. That means students, here they are telling that, so we have studied the sequential data types like strings, lists, and tuples. So sometimes you do, if you don't have specific requirements, then you can use lists or tuples. Okay, so then, but still there is a difference that exists and we need to understand what are the pros and cons of each of them. So, and here are the few key points that we need to remember. Strings are more limited compared to other sequences like lists and tuples, because the elements in strings must be characters only. Moreover, strings are immutable. Hence, if we need to modify the characters in a sequence, it is better to go for a list of characters. Okay, so look at here. See, if you want to modify, if you after reading the data, if you want to modify at character level, then it is better to go for list rather than string. Why? Because list is immutable and string is immutable. Second point, as lists are mutable, they are most common compared to tuples. But in some situations, as given below, tuples are preferable. So let us see where the tuples are preferred. When we have a return statement from a main function, it is better to use tuples rather than lists. Okay, that means whenever you write a function where the function is returning to the main function, in those situations, it is better to use tuples rather than lists. Then when a dictionary key must be a sequence of elements, then we must use immutable types like strings and tuples. When a dictionary key must be a sequence of elements, then we must use immutable type like strings and tuples. So that is one area where we need to remember when to use tuples. Then when a sequence of elements is being passed to a function as arguments, usage of tuples reduces unexpected behavior due to aliasing. So that means there are no chances of modifying its value if you use tuples. So that we have to use tuples. Then the last one, as tuples are immutable, the methods like sort and reverse cannot be applied on them. So this is the limitation of tuple. As they are immutable, you cannot apply sort and reverse, but same thing can be done. So just now I told you. So there is one more way to sort the contents of the tuple. Okay, that I'll tell you at the end of this chapter. So that is nothing but there is inbuilt functions called as sorted and reversed, which will take a sequence as an argument and return a new sequence with modified results. That means, see, it cannot change the sequence of the existing tuple. Instead, it can create a new sequence with modified, or with, say, for example, so you have a requirement like you need to sort a tuple. So if you sort the contents within the tuple, then the contents are changing. So it is violating the property of the tuple. So hence it is not possible. So now, to overcome that, it will create another sequence. That means another tuple itself, new one in a sorted manner. So that's what this sorted will do. And similarly, the reversed. So this is sorting in ascending order. Reversed is used to sort in descending order. So these are the two methods which will take one argument and it will return a new sequence in sorted order. Then very importantly, this is the some of the tips for the developers. So these are some of the tips for the developers, that is how to debug. Lists, dictionaries and tuples are basically data structures. So basically these are all data structures: lists, tuples, dictionaries, and even the string is also data structure. In real-time programming, we may require compound data structures like lists of tuples. See, compound data, see, list means simple data structure. Lists of tuples means, say for example, structure within a structure. Okay, class within a class, lists of tuples. So these are all complex data structures. Then dictionaries containing tuples and lists, etc. But these compound data structures are prone to shape errors. That is, errors caused when the data structure has the wrong type, size, composition. For example, when your code is expecting a list containing single integer, but you are giving a plain integer, then there will be an error. So that's what we saw in the previous class, students. Say for example, if I ask you to create a list with one integer value, so just say for example, if you write ls is equal to open bracket 10, then close the bracket. Then if you call that is an integer, no, that is wrong. That is a normal variable. That is not a list. That becomes an integer variable ls. It will not become a list. So what you have to do? You have to do ls is equal to open bracket 10 comma, then close the bracket, then it becomes the list. So such errors are very like, you need to, while debugging, you need to take care of such errors. When debugging a program to fix the bugs, following are the few things a programmer can try. So these are the very useful tips for you students. Examine your code, read it again, check that it says what you meant to say, what you mean to say. That means, say before writing the code, you'll be knowing what is your intention. Okay, say for example, my intention is to compute certain thing. So for that, you will write a code. So after writing the code, once again you do the static analysis. Static analysis, or the, that is also part of the code review. Okay, you check whether whatever the code that you have written, whether it will do the intended task or not. Okay, that you have to do. Then running, experiment by making changes and running different versions. So this is also called as mutation. Okay, this is also called as mutation analysis. So once you write the code and do modifications, often if you display the right thing at the right place in the program, then the program becomes obvious, but sometimes you have to spend some time to build scaffolding. Okay, so students, you need to understand what is the meaning of building what is the meaning of scaffolding. So I'll give you an example. So when you construct a house, for the security, for the safety of the people involved in construction, so they will take a lot of measures. So one such measure is wearing an helmet. Then then surrounding the, say for example, a painter wants to paint your building, so he has to, so you have to take care of his safety. For that purpose, lot of, you will install a lot of poles surrounding the building, so that, so very safely he can sit and he can do the painting. So that facility is called as scaffolding. So whatever the security measures that you are taking to ensure security of your building, we call it as scaffolding. Okay, so for providing scaffolding facility for any construction is compulsory. Similarly, in software testing, there is a concept of scaffolding. See what that scaffolding will do. So as part of scaffolding, actually what we can do is, say you want to do some task repeatedly. So for that, you can write one automation script which will do that task instead of you doing it again and again. So that is also, so that becomes one tool. Similarly, say for example, you'll write a program to read data, to open the file, and if the file exists, you want to read first 3 lines of the file and displaying on the terminal. So for that, what you will do, for your safety purpose, you will implement try except block. So that is one of the safety measure, because the try block will check whether the file exists, whether the file is existing or not. In case if it is not existing, it will give you the hint. So whatever that you have specified in the except block. So that is called scaffolding. So, and another way of implementing scaffolding is that, so you need to write your code in such a way that, so whenever something goes wrong, it should give you some hint. Okay, so by doing some validation, it will give you certain hint. So that is also called as scaffolding. So therefore, the whole purpose of having scaffolding is to make your code more secure, to make your code more secure, and to provide useful information to the developer, we have to implement scaffolding. Okay, keep you in your mind. So in interviews, they may ask, okay, tell me about scaffolding. Okay, and also at the same time, they may ask you about software oracles. So software oracles are the tools which are used, okay, to help to reduce the burden of the developer. That is, say for example, a report generation tool, that is one software oracle. Then software automation tool, that is one software oracle, because it will reduce the burden of the developer to test manually again and again. So those are all oracles. So scaffolding means the tools which provide, or the procedures that provide more security to the code. Next is ruminating. take some time to think what kind of error it is. That means, see, you need to analyze. Being a developer, you should analyze. So what is this code? Why I have written this code? So with this code, you should be able to analyze what kind of errors this code may generate. Okay, say for example, you are doing some data structure programming using C programming. Okay, that too in Linux platform. So you will get immediately. So you have not used the pointers properly. So you'll get what is that segmentation fault. Okay, so when you get segmentation fault, so immediately you need to think, okay, what are the reasons for which you may get, what are the reasons for segmentation fault? So the possible reasons for segmentation fault are, say for example, if you have used the scanf, so inside the scanf to allocate the memory, if you have forgotten to use the ampersand symbol, so that means the memory is not allocated. So segmentation is always linked with memory, so it generates segmentation fault. Then, so you are using some pointer, but it is not pointing to the address where you intended. Okay, where you intended that to locate. So that is segmentation fault. So these are the reasons for segmentation fault. So like that, you should be able to identify. Okay. Take some time to think what kind of error is it. Syntax error, whether it is syntax error, runtime error, whether it is semantic error. See, semantic error means logical error. It can be logical error also, semantic error. Say for example, so it is not giving any syntax error, it is compiling and running successfully, but the output is not as expected. So that means there can be somewhere you have gone while implementing the logic. Okay, that you need to see. Then what information can you get from the error messages? Say for example, while executing some programs with the browser, you may get error code 401, error code 501, 504, like internal server error, file not found error. For each of those error, there is a code associated with that. Okay, with that code, what information you can extract? Say for example, you will get some code and you don't know what is its meaning, just you Google it. You'll get some, okay, you'll get some hint so that you can rectify the error. So that is all called as ruminating. That is called ruminating. All that whole process is called ruminating. Then retreating. So what is retreating? At some point, the best thing to do is back off, undoing recent changes. So you have to undo the recent changes, but that is not possible all the time. Okay, say for you'll open some file and you'll say, for example, the length of the source code in your program is, say for example, 1000 lines. So say let us assume you will do some changes in 8 to 10 lines. So after that you will save it also. Then how to undo those changes? Not possible. So for that reason, what you have to do, first somewhere you have to store your original file. Then you create a replica of that and you do all the changes to the replica. So then sometime, so after that, even if you do not get the output, then you undo all the changes. So at that time, the doing like undo becomes very quite troublesome. So then what you do, you open the original file. So that is called as retreating. If you feel like once again, let me change everything. So then you should have the original source code. So once again, you can redo all the whole process until you get back to the program that works and that you understand. Then you can start rebuilding. Okay, so rebuilding the meaning of retreating is the process of rebuilding the code starting from the scratch until you get the desired output. That is called retreating. Students, anything you want to ask? Hello? That's all about this concept, dictionary, and how to debug. Students, this summary and the debugging procedure is very, very important for any developer. Keep in your mind. So if you want to become a very good developer, you have to keep these things in your mind. So usually what you do, as soon as you get an error, you'll ask your friend, you'll ask your teacher, isn't it? So that is not the right thing all the time. So what you should do, first you should think. So what error it is, whether it is a logical error. See, if it is a logical error, you will be getting some output, but it is incorrect. If it is a syntax error, you will not be. It will be throwing some error. So you try to understand what is that error. Okay, you just see whether it is giving any hint about the error. Okay, if at all, if it doesn't give any hint, just you post it in the Google. You see in the developer forums, then you will get some idea. So what is that error? How to resolve it? So whenever you do projects, usually whenever you do any mini project, say in the academics, so the main learning curve for you is that, okay, how to start from the scratch, okay, and how to make use of the existing code, then how to build your own code upon the existing. So that means everything you need not start from the scratch. Always you will get solved for any given project. Okay, you can get some of the functionalities which are already implemented, isn't it? So then that is the reason where always we suggest rapid application development. So rapid application development means, so whatever that is there already, you take it, then you tweak it as per your requirements. You do a little bit modifications as per your requirement. Then to implement new functionality for which the code is not existing, you write that code only. You only write that code. Then you integrate everything. So like that you have to do. And during this time, whenever you get any error, okay, you need to learn where to post the error. Say for example, for Python, which are the developer forums. Okay, how many forums are there? So there will be a number of forums. So among them, which are the most popular forums where we get immediate response. So that you need to learn. Students, I'll give you one task. So you need to implement this program and post the result on the GCR. Take a screenshot, students, everyone. Take the screenshot. I request everyone to take the screenshot. Hello? I want the reply. Did you take the screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Done.
Tell me what is this program is all about? Okay, let us assume you have created one HTML form. Using that form, you have collected information from the user, that is first name, last name, mobile number, age, okay, qualification, everything. You have taken a lot of information from that. So yeah, you have to take first name, last name, and the phone number, and you have to build a dictionary. So that is the task. So now you have the data. Let us assume you have the data with you. From the existing data, you have to build the dictionary. So what is that existing data? First name, last name, and the phone number. Separately you have collected. But now you need to integrate first name, last name, and the phone number to make one dictionary. So that is the task. So for that purpose, you need to execute this piece of code. Then post the output on the GCR. Now I'll create one assignment for that. Okay. Okay, students, you can start typing the program. Okay, by that time I'll also create the assignment. Be online. You be online. Okay, after creating the assignment, I'll take the attendance. Students, 1 minute, I'll take the attendance. Answer for the attendance. USN 1. Hello.
Present, sir.
USN 2. 2. 3.
Present, sir.
4. 4. 5.
Present, sir.
6. Arbaz. 7.
Present, sir.
8. Ashok.
Yes, sir.
9.
Present, sir.
10.
Present, sir.
11.
Present, sir.
12.
Present, sir.
13.
Present, sir.
14.
Present, sir. 14.
16.
Present, sir.
17.
Present, sir.
18.
Present, sir.
19.
Present, sir.
20.
Present, sir.
21.
Present, sir.
22.
Present, sir.
23.
Present, sir.
24. Kishore.
Present, sir.
25.
Yes,
Present,
sir.
26.
Present, sir.
27.
Yes, sir.
28.
Present, sir.
29.
Yes, sir.
30.
Present, sir.
31. Sorry. Now start with TD series. Pavitra. 02.
Present, sir.
3.
Present, sir.
4.
Present, sir.
5.
Present, sir.
6.
6 present, sir.
7.
Present, sir.
8.
Present, sir.
9.
Present, sir.
10.
Present, sir.
11.
Yes, sir.
12.
Present, sir.
13.
Present, sir.
14.
Yes, sir.
16.
Present, sir.
17.
Yes, sir.
18.
Present, sir.
19.
Present, sir.
20.
Present, sir.
21. Sunil. 22. Vaishnavi. 23. Vinirana. So
Sir Amrish.
Amrish 4. What you are doing, man?
Sir, network hoyti sir.
Anybody else? That's it, students. You post the output. Huh? You post the output on the GCR. That's all for today. In the next class, we'll start from module number 4, files. Students, already we have seen, right? Already we have done few programs on files, isn't it? So how to create a file, how to open the file, and we know what are the file opening modes, how to set the file pointer, all those things. I think quickly we can wind up, since already we have covered more than 60% of the concepts. This fourth module will get over very early. Let us see. So after that, in the fifth module, so it's all about object orientation and creating graphical user interfaces based upon the MVC model, that is model view controller architecture.